The loudest person in the room is never the one calling the shots. While everyone fights for attention online, there's a silent group making moves nobody sees coming. Today, I'm breaking down why going invisible might be the smartest power play you'll ever make. Why does constant visibility actually weaken your position? Think about the last time someone overshared on social media. Did you respect them? More or less. Here's what nobody tells you about the attention economy. It's designed to drain you dry. Every post, every story, every update is a transaction where you're selling pieces of yourself for temporary validation. And the market? It's oversaturated. Your value drops every time you flood the feed. The most dangerous lie of our generation is that visibility equals success. That if you're not posting, you're not progressing. But look at the actual power players in any industry. The venture capitalists who move billions. The strategists behind political campaigns. The investors who shape markets. How many of them are doing daily vlogs? Stanford researchers found something fascinating. People who maintain strong boundaries around their personal information report significantly higher levels of autonomy and life satisfaction. Meanwhile, chronic oversharers experience increased anxiety and decreased sense of control over their own narrative. Here's the reality check. When you broadcast everything, you give everyone a roadmap to your weaknesses. Your competitors know your moves before you make them. Your enemies know exactly which buttons to push. You've essentially handed out the instruction manual to your vulnerabilities. Strategic invisibility isn't about hiding. It's about precision. It's knowing that every time you reveal something, you're either gaining leverage or losing it. And most people are hemorrhaging leverage without even realizing it. The algorithm taught us to perform constantly, to measure our worth in engagement metrics, to believe that silence means irrelevance. But that's exactly what keeps you trapped in the hamster wheel, earning faster while getting nowhere. Watch how the truly powerful operate. They control information flow like it's oxygen. They reveal strategically, never emotionally. They understand that mystery creates magnetism, while overexposure creates indifference. You want real influence? Stop giving it away for free in the form of content nobody asked for. Are you building power, or just building a highlight reel? What happens when you stop playing their game? The system needs you visible, trackable, and predictable. That's exactly why you should go dark. Every piece of content you create feeds a machine that profits from your attention. Addiction. You think you're building a personal brand, but you're actually building someone else's database. Your habits, your triggers, your vulnerabilities all cataloged and monetized. Going invisible means opting out of a rigged game. It means refusing to dance when the algorithm says dance. And here's what's wild. The moment you stop performing, you start living. Actually living. Not just documenting life for an audience that scrolls past in 3 seconds. The invisible operators understand something critical. Your energy is your most valuable asset. And they refuse to waste it on people who don't deserve access to it. They're selective. Intentional, ruthless about protecting their attention from parasites who only want to consume, never contribute. There's a psychological principle called the scarcity effect. When something becomes rare, it becomes valuable. When you're everywhere all the time, you're basically the human equivalent of spam. But when you're selective about your presence, people lean in, they pay attention, they value the access. Think about your favorite musicians, authors, or thought leaders. The ones with real staying power. How often do they post compared to influencers who burned out and disappeared? The difference is intentionality versus desperation, quality versus quantity, signal versus noise. But here's where it gets uncomfortable. Going invisible means giving up the dopamine hits. No more instant gratification from notifications. No more validation from strangers. You have to sit with yourself and decide if what you're doing actually matters without the external scoreboard. Most people can't handle that. They'd rather stay addicted to the attention drip feed than face the void of genuine self-reflection. That's why they'll never access the level you're about to reach. When you disappear from the noise, you gain clarity. You see the game for what it is. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Are you ready to stop performing and start operating? Hit that like button and subscribe for the reality nobody else is sharing. How silent players control outcomes without anyone noticing. The best move is the one nobody saw coming. That's impossible when you telegraph everything. There's a reason poker professionals have blank faces. A reason special forces operate in darkness. A reason the most successful investors never announce their positions before they've already won. Information asymmetry is the ultimate competitive advantage. When you go invisible, you flip the script entirely. Instead of being the one watched, you become the watcher. Instead of reacting to everyone else's noise, you're 3 steps ahead, planning your next 10 moves. You're playing chess while they're still arguing about checkers rules. MIT conducted research on decision-making patterns and found that people who process information privately before acting make significantly better choices than those who crowdsource opinions. The constant need for external input doesn't make you collaborative, it makes you weak and indecisive. Here's what changes when you embrace invisibility. You stop caring about being right in public. You start caring about being effective in private. You don't need witnesses for your wins. You don't need an audience for your evolution. The results speak when you're ready for them to speak. The invisible ones are collecting data while everyone else is collecting likes. They're building relationships that matter, while others are building follower accounts that don't. They're creating actual wealth, while the visible ones are creating the illusion of wealth for engagement. And here's the uncomfortable truth. Most of what passes for success online is just really good marketing. Behind the scenes, those same people are stressed, broke, and trapped in a content creation cycle they can't escape. They're prisoners of their own personal brand. Meanwhile, the silent operators are free. Free to pivot without public explanation. Free to fail without public humiliation. Free to win without attracting jealousy and sabotage. That freedom is worth more than any amount of followers. You think you need visibility to make an impact? Wrong. You need precision. You need timing. You need the ability to move without friction. And friction is what you get when everyone's watching. What matters more? Recognition or results? Drop a like and subscribe if this is hitting different. What if you could rewrite your strategy? Starting now? The question isn't whether you should go invisible. It's whether you're brave enough to do it. Let's be real. Most people reading this won't change a thing. They'll nod along, feel inspired for 5 minutes, then go right back to posting their breakfast and their feelings. Because invisibility requires something most people don't have: discipline to delay gratification. But you're still here, which means you're different. You're someone who understands that the real game happens off camera. That influence isn't measured in metrics, but in outcomes. That power doesn't announce itself, it just is. Going invisible starts with one radical act: deleting the performance. Not your accounts necessarily, but the performance mindset. Stop posting to prove you exist. Stop sharing to manufacture a persona. Start moving with purpose that doesn't require an audience. The invisible elite follow a simple protocol. If it doesn't serve a strategic purpose, it doesn't get shared. Every move is calculated. Every reveal is intentional. They're not living for content, they're creating content from actually living. Here's what nobody warns you about. When you go invisible, people will make up stories about you. They'll say you're stuck up, that you think you're too good, that you've changed. And you have to be okay with being misunderstood by people who never understood you anyway. Because the alternative is worse. The alternative is spending your entire life performing for strangers who wouldn't help you if you actually needed it. Trading your peace for pixels, your authenticity for approval, your power for popularity. The invisible path is lonelier at first. You'll miss the dopamine. You'll question if you're making a mistake. But then something shifts. You start seeing results that matter, building relationships that last, creating impact that compounds. And you realize the validation you were chasing was keeping you from the success you actually wanted. This isn't about disappearing completely. It's about appearing strategically. It's about controlling your narrative instead of letting the algorithm control it for you. It's about playing at a level most people don't even know exists. Which version are you choosing? The one everyone sees or the one that actually wins? Like this, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this message.